Hello, this is Ceres again, 3rd Congressional District candidate for the Republican primary. And what some of you may not know is that I also happen to work for East Carolina University, where I'm a library technician. And this week is finals week. And so we've got all the med students, because I work on the health sciences campus. They're late tonight, and they're all studying and getting ready for final exams this week. And it got me thinking about an issue that has affected Eastern North Carolina very much that you don't really hear any of the other candidates talking about. And that is education in general for Eastern North Carolina. And this week we also have the Teachers March. Now, the popular opinion among conservative circles is that the Teachers March is all about teachers' pay. And yes, there are some extreme elements within the Teachers March that perhaps that's all that they really care about is additional pay, but I happen to believe that it's a little deeper than that. Eastern North Carolina has pretty much gotten a raw deal when it comes to education funding in this state. On top of that, our teachers have a calling, just like any of us do when we volunteer, when we go into the service, when we enter a career path that we believe in. Teachers are called to teach. Yes, we have some bad teachers, but we also have a lot of amazing teachers here in North Carolina. And one of the problems is that these teachers are not getting the funding that they were promised from the state. Perfect example is the state's education lottery. Now, let me be clear. The lottery people themselves have no control over where this money goes. And when the education lottery first went into existence, there was a part of the law that said that 35% of all of the lottery proceeds would go directly to education. Well, what the legislature did was they changed that to become a guideline. So now the money is taken from the education lottery, goes to the bureaucrats up in Raleigh, and then the state legislature appropriates it out of general funds. So less than 30% of the money is actually going to the school system. And of that, a large portion is going to support staff, such as office assistants, guidance counselors. It's not getting into the classrooms. We have teachers who are going out and having to buy their own pencils. Now you might ask, why is a congressional candidate talking about something that should be a state issue? And I agree, it should be a state issue. And the federal government should have no role in education. But you know what? A big state government is no better than a federal government. It could be just as oppressive and just as irresponsible. We need to get those funds to the localities and let the local boards decide. We need to get a fair shake for Eastern North Carolina. And right now, we have a situation where it's not possible to get rid of the Federal Department of Education. So as long as they're spending our money up there, we should make sure that we're getting our share of it back. Those funds should go directly to local school boards when they come from the federal government. They should not go to the state, because the state has proven, like it has done with the educational lottery, that it can't be held responsible for distributing those funds properly. A lot of those funds are distributed out in Mecklenburg County, out in Wake County, and Durham County. They're not getting to our citizens here in Jones County, or in Lenoir County, or in Pitt County, or any of the other counties within this district. And what's happening is that our teachers are having to use their salaries to pay for classroom supplies. That's ridiculous. We need to have the federal funds designated to go to the localities, whether that is county school boards, whether that is city and municipal school boards. But the school boards know best which teachers need the money, which teachers should be rewarded for doing well in the classroom, and whether or not they need additional office assistants or additional school construction funds. And we need to make sure that our children are educated. That's what really matters to most people in most families in this district. They could care less about the talking points that us candidates are talking on immigration or on any other thing, because they know where we're at. We're all conservative in the Republican primary on those issues. They want to know who's going to educate their child, who's going to make sure that they get those funds for the schools. And I'm here to tell you that if elected, I'm going to fight tooth and nail to make sure that Eastern North Carolina gets its share of those federal funds that are coming back to North Carolina. And we can debate all day long over the ideological portion of that, whether or not the federal government should be involved, and I don't believe they should be. But one of the ways we get bureaucrats out of the way is to send those funds back to the localities and let the local school boards deal with this, because they know how best to deal with it. You know how best to deal with it, and let the parents and the school boards decide, not the bureaucrats in Raleigh. And I'm Gary Ceres, and I ask for your support and your vote on April 30th or in the early vote. Thank you, and God bless.